Hello. I'm going to say a little bit today about what looks like the mayhem of midlife, and hopefully this will resonate with quite a few of you. Just to be clear, I am not a perimenopause expert, and I'm not here to give tips and strategies, unfortunately, for those who are seeking that. It's more of a deeper conversation about how we hold these experiences, because it's particularly resonant for me going through this kind of phase of life at the moment. And it just occurs to me that there might be things to share that are helpful. So there's lots going on in the midlife period. It might be that we have children who are getting older, becoming teenagers or young adults. It might be that we have a shift in career, or we start thinking about maybe the narrative around having a peak in your career and your potential and expectations. There may be a lot of depleted energy because there's just so much to do, so much to hold, and maybe not a lot of conversations to be able to share it, so we internalise a lot of it unless we have friends, peers or people where we can talk about stuff like this, which is really helpful. And then add to this like a heady cocktail of hormones and a lot of bodily changes that are happening that might seem really confronting. There might be lots of intense sensations, there might be sweats, certainly it presents in so many different ways. For me, it's a lot of loss of words. So in meetings, there'll be a word and I just can't get to it. And I love words and I find that really frustrating. And so many things. A lot of people might talk about heightened anxiety, a sense of imposter syndrome. And those are all really uncomfortable sensations, and it can be really bewildering and really perplexing. And that's why it can look like utter mayhem. And we will often have chats with people and be like, oh my God, yeah, is that happening for you too? What a relief. Yeah, that's happening for me too. But there's also an inner question around how do we hold all this and how can we hold it lightly so it doesn't become something that we have to fight against and resist and try and fix, as if the body is a problem, as if this whole situation is a problem and we need to get away from it. Well, maybe it's actually the opposite. Maybe it's an invitation to move towards it and say, okay, where's this heavy fatigue coming from? Maybe life is telling me that I'm trying to do too much. Maybe this frenetic pace of doing and trying to meet some kind of end game is actually not helping me at all. And maybe there's deep ancestral wisdom in this. Maybe there are things surfacing from deep within us, maybe past anxieties, fears, hurts that are rising to the surface because they have to in order to create this clearance, in order to create the space for transformation. And so what do we do with it? Well, some days we might do nothing and it might just overwhelm us. But some days, maybe when there's readiness and the space and clarity, we explore it a little bit more. We hold the feelings, we feel the feelings, which isn't always easy, and we let them be there. We might seek medical help, of course. There's no prescriptive way to handle this. It's not in any way saying you have to do X, Y, Z. It's just suggesting that there's a way to maybe be with the experience that might make it less confronting and we are more accepting of what's happening. So there we go. It's a coaching conversation. And if it's in any way sparking interest in you, please just drop me a line, because I'm exploring this with clients quite a lot at the moment and it's just fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Take good care. Bye-bye.